right? So reciprocate, you have to reciprocate the respect, faith, belief, and there should be a mutual understanding, mutual cooperation. If you are not ready to listen, how can a sender make you and force you to listen, right? So reciprocity is the first fundamental initial approach that you must have in the process of communication. Must. You should not be biased. See, I have written over here, every communication takes place in time zone and space zone. Every communication takes place in time zone and space zone. When I say time, what I mean to say, either the communication is taking place about related to present or past or future. This is what you were taught in your language class, right? Past tense, present tense and future tense. Is there any other tense? No. So these three things will let you know when and where and about what is being talked, right? So reciprocate, involve yourself, engross yourself in the communication process. More you engross, more you dive deep into the concepts, you will be able to have a scientific approach. You'll be so critical in your approach that it's easier for you to, you don't have to mug them. You don't have to mug them. If I ask about a particular favorite movie from you, have you literally mugged the information related to those movies? No. It was so interesting to you, you were so involved in that movie that all the character, what happened, what dialogues were delivered, what costumes were put on by the heroine, actor and actress, you remember everything. Why? Because you were involved in that. Same is the case with the communication process. Do not be biased. Make sure that you get involved at every situation and instances whenever you fall into the process of communication with anyone. Right? So that is first. Second, objectivity. It's that, every person in the process of communication, whether it is sender or receiver, they have their own objectivity. They have their own objective. And with those objectives, they mutually agree to come into that particular environment, settle down and listen to each other. Communication is not one way, right? Like while you are in the live class, what happens? While your faculty is teaching you and you are not understanding a particular concept, then you will start asking question. So at that point of time, while you are asking question or are clarifying your doubts, you are the sender and he turns out to be the receiver. And this process goes on and on and on till the time when you are completely clear about what the intended sender wanted to communicate, right? So objectivity. Generally, at a broader level, the objectivity may be long-term benefit, targeting long-term benefit, targeting short-term benefit. It may be micro level or macro level, right? Micro level or macro level. So you have to understand these are the things for which you have to understand how the objectivity is there. See what happened. Some scientific person developed polythene. Can you imagine the first time when polythene was discovered, or how comfort, how cozy, how easy it was for a general civilian, general people, that we never had to carry bag from our house. Whatever we wanted to purchase, it was easier for us to straight away move down to the market, and from there whatever we demanded, whatever we needed, we purchased, and we were given polythene. If you today move down to any grocery shop, any shop, you will see 60 to 70% commodity products are made up of plastics and polythene. Hey, this was short-term benefit. But in long-term benefit, what happened? Now there is a climatic challenge. It is not biodegradable. So being a scientific person, you have to understand that if whatever I'm in a communication process and there is a center who's trying to tell me something, what is the benefit? Is it going to last for longer? Because see, it is very clear. It is very clear that one of the research says that the way we are following America, right? America happens to be the most super powerful capitalist country, and the concept on which America runs, that is GDP, gross domestic product. The more the consumption, better is the economy of any country. So the level of a consumption that an America does, or the people of America do, if we try to copy the same, you know what the science says, we need more 8 earth. The resources on the earth is not sufficient. 8 more earth. Is it feasible? Is it literally possible to again have 8 more earth? By now it is not possible. I don't know about future. Science is full of unpredictable. Maybe in near future we'll be able to discover some earth in somewhere, some galaxy, but right now it's not feasible. There is glacier melting, ozone layer depletion, there is greenhouse effect. There are immense problems just because of immense wrong engineering, and you are pursuing engineering. You are pursuing BTech, right? You are in first year student, and consider that if you are not able to have this mindset, this perception, this ideology, this clarity of reality, that whether the objectivity of the concepts that I am learning or the knowledge that I am draining, is it long term beneficial or not? Is it short term beneficial or not? How to have a proper balance? If you are targeting with this orientation of mind and trying to understand the knowledge which you will be applying in near future as an engineer, then believe me, there is no heaven elsewhere. This earth will be the heaven, because you people will make this earth as a heaven, because you are future of the world, right? So you have to understand, more is the clarity, more is the better orientation, and you will be able to make the life so easy, so comfortable, right? So for that you have to understand objectivity. What is the objectivity of the content which is being disseminated to us, and how this could be executed and applied, and what are the pros and cons? What are the pros and cons of this particular concept in the real life? How the life will be affected? You should not be mean-minded, you should not be selfish, you should not be self-centered, that for your benefits you start doing certain things which is going to challenge, which is going to harm the humanity at greater level, right? So you have to understand the objectivity. Fine. Coming down to the next, rationality. Hey, it's completely philosophical. Whom do you call rational? Do you know what the meaning of rational is? A person who is rational means when anything he takes a decision, any action he makes, any thoughts he generates, any action he does, any speech he makes, or any thoughts he generates is benefiting the maximum. When I say benefiting the maximum, what I mean to say, you know what? Nature is taken into consideration. The nature cycle, you know, plants are there, animal eat plant, and there are certain animals which eat the other animal, and that same animal is eaten by the human beings, and then human beings again through their excreta they give to the nature, and this cycle goes on and on and on. You have to understand that nature has its own cycle, and whatever policy, whatever knowledge, whatever execution, whatever innovation, whatever invention and discovery you make, please do not try to challenge this natural cycle. And if you are trying to challenge this natural cycle, you know what? Hey, humidity, excessive heat will be generated, because nature has its own course of action. Fine. So you have to understand, when rationality means whatever you think, whatever you speak, whatever you do, at whatever situation, in front of whomsoever, at whatever position, at whatever power, it should benefit the maximum. Long-term benefit should be there, keeping in point of view not only your generation, my generation, but the upcoming generation. Do you know what is the great challenge? There was rally for river. Now rivers are getting dry. There were rivers when I was a kid. It was full of water, but nowadays across the year, hardly a few months are there during the rainy season. River is full, or else across other months it is dry. Why? Where the waters are there. If you talk about the pollution in the Yamuna river in Delhi, in Kanpur, in other cities where Yamuna river passes, is so pathetic. Why? The drainage of industrial wastage is dumped into the river. Are we literally developing? Are we having the right set of knowledge? Is the world moving in the right direction? These are the certain bigger questions that you have to ponder, you have to introspect, contemplate in order to have a proper rationality. If you start thinking from this broader perspectives, you know what? You will turn up to be rational. A rational person doesn't think about himself only, about his family only, about his friends only. A rational person always thinks about everything. Is that clear, everyone? Fine. So that is rationality. Rationality, once again, let me tell you, rationality is taking in consideration nature, human, animal, plant life, water bodies, everything into consideration. To what level we should exploit? Do you know what? You engineers have created mobile phone. Do you know what the radiation? There are mobile towers, signal towers. There was a research which says that wherever this tower, in the greed of money, 10,000 to 15,000 per day, per month, the company, Idea, Vodafone and the other company pays, where the person in the greed of that, they allow their company to build up the tower at the top of their house. And people, there's a research which says that all the people who live around there in that particular vicinity, they are suffering with cancer. This is a problem, So what kind of research is this? What kind of development is this? What kind of comfort is this? That we are living with, death. Mobile radiation is literally creating a havoc. There is a heart attack problem, the increase in the heart attack. There is the other symptoms. The headache is getting created just because habitual. We are completely helpless. We are so much used to carry mobile phones. So you have to understand. We have to come out of these problems. Development doesn't mean creating more problem. Development means sorting out the existing problem. Do you have that particular approach in communication, whether in class, whether in lab, whether in near future as a professional in multinational company or being a scientist, IS, PCS? You have to understand that. Rationality, utility. Do you know what? If I talk about utility, utility means of use. Utility means of use. All the communication is centered towards need analysis and its fulfillment. But please, this utility, what happened? Government tried to ban the polythene. Heavy punishment and penalization was enforced in the society. But have you ever marked? Have the polythene uses in the society stopped? No. It has not stopped. It is as it is carried forward. Still the immense use. Do you know what? I was surprised once that even a villager is using Bisleri water. Hey man, the purity of water which comes out of the earth in the village is itself pure. But see the marketing. See the business ventures that they are being used to use Bisleri water. Our immune system has gone down. And I don't have to tell you, this corona has taught you a great lesson. Corona has taught you a great lesson. Whose body will be having poor immune system, immunity will face challenge. There was a report by WHO who that says that person with low immunity died in across world just because they could not fight against corona. So you have to understand these all things, right? That whatever we are creating, whatever we are learning, is it really only being used by human? Human are so selfish, you know. You will be surprised, handful, the insects, the animals, the birds are getting extinct. There are lots of different varieties of birds, different varieties of animals. They are no more in the world. And in the biology, if you would have definitely learned or taught in high school, that every creature on earth contributes in the development of this environment. You know, if this pesticides, insecticides, everything is killed, you know what? The fertility of soil will go down. The fertilizers we are using too much in the agriculture, do you know what? The fertility of the land is going down. Soil is not that fertile nowadays. So that's the reason there is a great research going on in generic science, in which we are coming down with the natural compost, in which it will be less harmful to the soil. So all these challenges, these all questions, these all problems are to be taken seriously, which will make you that the proper utility is there. Environment is there at our hand, at our disposal. It doesn't mean that we will be using in such a way just because it is full of use. Everything across the world is of use. Across the world, everything is used. Whether we talk about mountains, whether we talk about rivers, whether we talk about forest, they are misused. See, try to understand misuse and use. There is a hell and heaven difference. If that is to be used, that is very much required, it should be used. And if it is not genuinely required, please try to develop such an infrastructure, such a concept, such a society, such an environment which won't be misused. Right? So, utility and universality, you know what? Great amount of money is dumped just to find out that the life possibility in Mars is there or not. You would have come across a news in news media saying there are film celebrities and stars who have booked plot in Mars. Well, I don't understand what is there in front of us. We are not bothered about that. We are not at all bothered about that to keep it safe. We are more bothered to use it to the optimum level, and we crash, we exploit, we destroy everything here, and we'll move down to Mars. Hey man, who knows what is going to happen there? And there was the body, the committee which is researching on Mars says that once you go, you cannot return from Mars. It's one-sided booking. You know, can you just imagine? Can you imagine one-side booking? So, universality, you have to understand the importance of stars, comets, asteroids, galaxy, different planets, moon. There are lots of spaceships, satellites are sent on moon. Who knows what adverse effect it is having? So, whatever scientific endeavor you have, you should keep it in mind that all the above mentioned things are kept into consideration for a proper communication with proper approach. And if you do not have these all things, hey, what would be the consequences? We are running towards our death. And not only we are running, we are allowing others to run towards their death. And development is not fastening the death process. Development is delaying the death process and increment in enjoyment and comfort. Right? So, with this, I would like to sum up that today we have dealt with the approaches of communication, and to sum up within 1 or 2 lines, please have a proper rational approach to decode the reality, and the better you decode the reality, better knowledge will take place, and better knowledge takes place, then success is challenged and guaranteed. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.